Welcome back to QOTD. It is the question of the day game and the game show that lets you be on the air.
And you can be on the air by recording your own video answers to our awesome daily questions.
This week, we're talking about sports in honor of the beginning of March Madness. We're getting into how we stay athletic, our favorite sports moments, and we're talking a little bit about our hometowns because, as we all know, hometowns often means home teams.
That's right. And throughout the week, we've received your recorded answers. And now it's your turn to vote in chat and determine who will be this week's QOTD Question of the Day champion.
So let's begin with your answers to Friday's and this week's first QOTD Question of the Day.
Our first question was, how do you get inspired to work out? I actually have two answers to this question, if I may. One is to buy a new pair of trainers, some running shoes, something fun to wear if you go to the gym, especially if there are going to be other people there, because there's nothing that a good outfit can't fix. And number two is, I don't know if you guys know this, but you're not supposed to put a picture of like a heavy person on your refrigerator. That's not what inspires you. You're actually supposed to put a picture on the fridge of something that you aspire to, look like. So whether it's a model or whether it's how you looked in college or high school or whatever, that's actually been proven to work better than feeling down in the dumps.
Yeah, so it's about the gear, like so many other things.
All about the gear.
Yeah. I can see myself getting inspired that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true. I do. Definitely good gear makes a big difference. Thank you, Trish. But I think fans, it is your turn we're going to go through some answers from you fans. So tell us, how do you get inspired to work out?
I also diet. I've dieted for a while now, about 5 years, and I've been able to hold off 40 pounds. And a big reason that's possible is because I use exercise as well. And if I didn't go to the gym, then you're only hurting yourself for any kind of diet. So that's a big inspiration right there. So it really inspires me to go to the gym because that's, again, a big part of the process if you want to have a successful diet.
Makes sense.
I don't get it. Is he saying that you should get inspired to go to the gym by going to the gym? Or he said, if you're going to the gym, that'll inspire you to also eat less?
No, I think what he's saying is you're only getting half of the benefits if you just diet. So if you don't diet and incorporate exercise, then nothing's going to happen. So he's inspired to go to the gym because he's working on the diet.
And you can see why I have such a hard time succeeding at these things, because I don't even understand the simplest advice that somebody gives me.
Well, take it from Mr. 40 pounds less over here. Good advice.
Put a picture of him on my fridge.
Yes.
So I really don't work out that much. I also don't go to the gym, but what I like to do is every once in a while, like if the weather's really nice, I like to go for a walk around my neighborhood. And one way that I really feel inspired to work out is when I'm listening to music. So if I'm listening to a really upbeat song or a song that I really like, it just motivates me to try even harder and put some more effort into it.
Eye of the Tiger.
Absolutely.
We are the champions.
Right.
We just make a playlist. But I just feel like great workout music stopped being made after the 80s.
Oh.
JJ says no.
No.
One of the Z's has something to say.
Yes, I think that there is so much like upbeat pop music. It's definitely different from the 80s music, but it gets me pumped up and ready to work out. So I stand by, there's still good workout music today.
A little EDM before you go and lift.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So I get inspired to work out by choosing workouts that I actually want to do and that sound fun and interesting to me. I don't force myself to stick to a routine. I really don't stick to a routine. I just kind of do whatever sounds good in the moment. As long as I'm getting some sort of movement in, I just try and make it fun. So I go on YouTube and just like search through different random workouts until I find one that sounds fun, or I'll go to a workout class because I love those. So I just keep it fun.
Yeah. You don't want to make it another job. You got to make it fun.
Spin classes.
Is that fun?
Mm-hmm. They're really fun.
I see. Like I play in a sport, right? Let's say pickleball. Let's just say that there was a sport that you enjoyed.
That's one.
I'm manic about pickleball, by the way, guys. But so imagine that there's a sport that you like. Maybe it's not pickleball. Maybe you like, I don't know, flag football. But having something like that you can like go out and do and have fun, and also that you can train for because you want to be better at it. I mean, maybe that's the key. I mean, I want to go back and ask Emma about that. Because she's looking for she doesn't like to work out that much. She's looking for something fun too.
Exactly.
How do you get inspired to work out? Well, I kind of don't. I feel like actually working out is just not something I'm really into. I do it sometimes, but it's not my favorite. My favorite type of kind of being out and about is just being active. So doing active activities with friends, like me and my friends, we're going to go rock climbing. We went roller skating the other day, and just walking as much as possible. So I try to take stairs instead of elevators and just being active that way.
See, but you are working out. Yeah, I think people just equate it with like hitting the gym, and it's not necessarily. It's just being active.
And maybe it helps to not call it working out, because working out sounds like work.
Right? We should just say
Right.
having fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna go have some fun.
Mhm.
Get
Yes.
fit.
Yeah. Go on a hike, play some soccer. Love it.
Yeah.
Seeing as inspiration and motivation are completely different things, I get inspiration from seeing other people working out and seeing videos and hearing music and reading about how working out is really healthy. Now, keeping up the motivation to working out, that's a completely different thing.
And again, I say, what's the difference again? So wait a second. So let me take that on. Let me take on my own question here. So I'm like, well, what's the difference between getting inspired to do something and getting motivated to do something? And I think that being inspired to do something means that you want to do it. It's aspirational. It's like, oh, what a wonderful thing to do. I have this as a goal, which you may or may not do. But it's not as good as being motivated, which is fear, right? You're afraid. Like look, maybe you got a wedding coming up. You want to be looking your very best. You're afraid that you're going to look like a something. And so, right, like a something. And so then you work out. That's the motivation. So, all right, Alicia. Thank you for clearing that up for us.
How do I get inspired to work out? I just remind myself of why I'm starting in the first place. And, I find a way to dig deep and push past, I figure out a way to put my body in an adaptation response.
So,
What is an adaptation response?
You see, we're back on the whole linguistics of this whole thing. The epistemology of working out is so complicated. We could be talking about it and trying to figure out, and you know what we're never going to do? Work out. This kind of procrastination, I'm very good at.
but I think they're both saying the same thing. What's your why? Like, find your why. Why? Because I want to look good at the wedding. Why? Because I don't want to have to buy more clothes. Or why? Because I'm getting flabby or whatever. Not that I am. I'm just saying somebody else might say that. What's your why?
It's right down the street. So we've heard some very funny answers here. People would like to have some things that are really going to help us out, but we've got to vote and pick one of these to be the question of the day champion, I suppose. Go into the chat and just type vote space and the number of the person that you totally agree with. And that person can win this round as the best answer to this question this week, and they'll make it to the final round. Maybe they will be the best answer of all answers for the entire week. Let's find out. Yeah,
Do something fun.
girls just want to have fun.
That's
That-
right.
And me too.
Girls and Keith just want to have fun.
Oh, what a clever song that would be.
Well, congratulations. You are the fan favorite.
Yes, you are. And now we turn it over to you fans. We have a poll for this question. We're asking you what inspires you to work out. You can answer by typing vote space and the option you love most in the chat.
Oh, I would love to say prioritizing my health would be me, but it's definitely not.
It's definitely number 2. Come on.
Oh,
Beach bod. Oh,
We are-
well, isn't everybody so virtuous? Good for you. Good for you for being internally driven. That's the kind of motivation and or inspiration that will keep you like at the gym,
Yeah.
shoving those weights, running them pads. Yeah, it's like everybody in my house, except for me, everybody in my house is like completely working out. I don't know what happened this year, but like January rolled around and everybody's like, I've had it. Because December was a little tough around here from a health perspective. And then January, everybody, like my daughter's been like running. She's been like running races, which is not really what you would have thought. Nancy, my wife, has been like kicking some serious bootay in the pickleball leagues, you know. I gotta get out there. Get away from this computer. But I just love it so much, you know.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun. Do we have another fun question? As fun as this one, JJ?
Yes, we do. Let's move on to the next question.
What two artists would you choose to make the most epic Super Bowl halftime show?
Love this one. Yeah, I think the Super Bowl has come and gone, but it's never too early to start planning for next year. And in my humble opinion, I think we're going to see the answers in a second. There is a criminal lack of Broadway performers being mentioned. So I'm going to bring up Renee Rapp, who's like this new artist who got her start on Broadway, and then Megan Thee Stallion, the famous of the moment rapper.
Not a Broadway star. But I like it because some of the good answers were like really interesting mixed people that you would never think would go together. And that is a really, really good one. Yeah. What's the other Broadway star that we love so much? Chenoweth?
Oh, Kristen?
Yeah.
You know what?
That could be fun. Renee Rapp and Kristen Chenoweth.
She's fabulous.
She is. I think that's another. Well, that will be my answer.
But no, because if you're gonna do, if you can do Kristen Chenoweth, then you got to have like Johnny Cash, you know, or to go back to the EDM thread, some great EDM group, you know who?
Two Friends. Yes.
Friends.
Yeah. Well, I think these are great answers, but I think it's time we get into some fan answers. So tell us, fans, who would you get to make the most epic Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh, I would absolutely love for two people that you would never even imagine together. Like, imagine Lil Wayne and Reba. That's my answer.
Boom. Mic drop.
I like that.
We could end it here. That's the perfect answer.
The most epic Super Bowl halftime show would have to be Dolly Parton and Britney Spears. Two ladies from the South bringing sass and class and so much energy and the most amazing show I can.
So is Britney Spears, is she back?
Oh, no. I haven't read much lately, but she seems to be having some difficulties.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, her comeback, I think her comeback is still to come. Let's say that.
Yes.
I believe in her. But so if it wasn't going to be her, I mean, I guess you'd got to go Reba and like Taylor Swift, right?
They're talking in the chat about Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift and anyone.
And it's NFL.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce up on the stage.
If I had to pick two artists, I would pick Drake with Aerosmith. And sort of like Drake does his own verse on the Run DMC. Something cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to have somebody take over the Run DMC side of Walk This Way. That's interesting.
Does make you think.
If I had to pick any two people to perform at the Super Bowl, it would be Dolly Parton and Missy Elliott. I mean, it's country and rap. How much better could it be? Let's make that happen.
All right. We'll
Like
start a
Taylor
new poll.
Swift, yeah, Dolly and anyone, right? Everybody
Yeah.
loves Dolly.
Dolly and Dolly.
Yeah. Dolly and the girls, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say John Mayer and Lady Gaga.
What about Lady Gaga and William Shatner doing like spoken word poetry? Don't you think that would be really awesome? Because they're both a little avant-garde, you know? Shatner would do Rocket Man. Spoken word.
Wow. That honestly, I would pay to see that. Not gonna lie.
If I had to plan the perfect halftime show, it would be Janet Jackson, Miley Cyrus, young and old, you know, old school, new school, rock, pop, gritty voices. I think it would please everyone, the mamas, the papas, the teens, and the
No?
Yeah, that's a great one.
Really good one.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to read these all back. Hopefully you all remember exactly which one. It's because I was talking too much. That is part of it. But we got to vote. We got to pick somebody to be the best. Our champion of the question. What would be like the most epic pairing? What is like the peanut butter and chocolate of Super Bowl halftime shows?
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it. Or like the milk and cookies.
The milk and cookies, the salt and pepper.
They should do like a East Coast.
Yeah, it was hard to beat that. She just came out so strong. And you're at a disadvantage if you end up being the first question, the first answer that shows up, I think. Because everybody's like, oh yeah, the last one that I remember because I spaced out there for a second. But it was great. Great answer, Alyssa. You're going to make it to the final round. That's the way that this show works. Whoever is the winner of each round, whoever gave the best answer to any particular question, will show up in the final runoff at the end of the show where we pick the champion of the week.
Yes. Well, congratulations, Alyssa. But now, fans and viewers, we turn it over to you. Which Super Bowl halftime show was your favorite? We do have a poll, so you can vote in chat.
Where is Michael Jackson on this list?
Did he do a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like back in Thriller days?
Yes, exactly.
It must have been. Well, you know.
Well, it didn't have, I just watched it the other day for some reason over again, but it doesn't have the bells and the whistles and the pyrotechnics that we have for the shows today. But they did a really cool thing where kind of old school where you pulled the card out from under your chair and then it made pictures around the stadium. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
High tech.
Huh? MJ.
Yeah. You iconic performer. Well, we do thank you, everyone, for answering this question. I think we should move on to the next question of the week, which is,
where is your hometown and what do you miss most or least about it?
So, like everybody's got a hometown, right? And I don't know, did you guys have strong feelings about the town that you grew up in? I do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, you know, I grew up in Los Angeles, in a little beach town, and it was just wonderful. It was like the like when you guys sit around and go, God, I wonder what it was like to grow up in Southern California. It was like that, you know. Skipping school to go surfing, little fires on the beach, going up in the hills. It was the whole, surfing thing. But now when I go back, it stings because it's changed so much that it's very hard for me to go back because I have such wonderful memories. But I suspect that it's true for everybody, maybe if you live in a town, like now I live in this multi-generational town where people have been living here for, their families have been here for 80 years or 100 years, and then you come back and your friends are going to be here. But man, when I grew up, like the people are gone. Like the houses have changed, all the stores are gone. The only thing that's left is the beach, which is still pretty good. But yeah, that's what do I miss the most? I mean, I definitely miss, having that natural resource. Jersey's different, we have our own beauty, but
yeah. And I did the exact same thing because I came from Phoenix, Arizona. all the way to Tacoma, just kidding, to upstate New York. And it's so different. It's like two different worlds, West
Yeah.
Coast, East Coast. But I do miss the Southwest for sure. I miss the heat.
Oh my God, but like upstate's so gorgeous though.
So cold.
So beautiful. Yeah. Man, I'm not gonna shovel or anything like that.
Right.
No. Well, those are both incredible things to miss. Yeah, I'm missing hometowns. I feel like everyone does it a little bit, even if they say they don't. But fans, I think now it's time to go through your answers. So we ask you, where is your hometown and what do you miss about it?
So my hometown is a medium small town in New Jersey, kind of near New York City. And one thing I do miss is that easy access to New York City. It's not that easy to get in, but like it's an hour drive, it's an hour train ride, maybe 45-minute drive. So that's been nice. And what I don't miss is that my house is fairly far from our downtown area. It's walkable, but you have to commit. And where I live now, it's 5-minute walk to downtown. It's amazing. Also, there are no bubble tea places in my hometown, and it's a tragedy.
Okay, with the exception of the bubble tea, she's all about like how far are things from each other. I'm close to New York, I'm far away from town, you know. Rachel, you gotta like be comfortable with where you are. Like me, I never leave. I never leave the house. The other day somebody asked me to leave the house, I'm like, I gotta go find some pants.
Yeah, that's why they invented Zoom and all these online calls, is that so you don't have to worry about the distance things are.
Yeah.
I'm from Cumming, Georgia, which is like a super boring suburb, and there isn't a lot to do there. But I do miss getting to pick up my friends and drive around aimlessly or walk around the Walmart or go to Wahoo at 2 a.m. I really miss when that was my idea of a fun.
Yeah, it's people, right?
Yeah. I think that is probably the most suburban answer we could have gotten. Just like driving around, you know, if you want to do the fun stuff, you go into the city, or if you want to like do a relaxing thing, you have to drive 30 minutes into the woods. But otherwise, it's the aimless drives and going to convenience stores.
The Wawa.
Exactly.
My hometown is the Bronx, New York. I'm living in upstate New York right now, and the main difference between the two is the late night food. I miss going out at 2 a.m. to get a chimichurri from the truck, or, you know, go downtown and have dinner at 11 p.m. It was.
That reminds me of, I was in New York one time for a party, and at one point someone was like, I kind of want to get tacos. And everyone else in the party was like, I also want to get tacos. And so literally at one point, just 20 of us all left this party. The entire party left. We all went down to a taco truck down the street. And I think we literally gave that guy most of his business that night.
Yeah, but like why settle for that? It's New York. At 3 o'clock in the morning, you could have gone to like a full service restaurant.
Why settle for that?
Yeah, no problem.
Literally, not even kidding.
Well, I'm from Solvang, California, which is a Danish town on the Central Coast. Bakeries everywhere, windmills everywhere, huge tourist attraction. And I really miss my friends and family, but I think the thing that I miss most of all is when actual Danish people would come to town and they'd be really mad. And they'd go, "This is not what Copenhagen looks like." And we'd have to apologize, you know, for getting it wrong.
Solvang is an awesome town. I was just there last year.
Were you like touristing?
Hitting the wine trail, yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah. But they serve something there called able skivers. Is that how you say it? They're almost like, they look like donut holes, and they're like powdered sugar, and you put jelly on them.
Still sounds like donut holes.
Yeah. $12.
When you say it's like donut holes, you mean there are a lot of like donut holes. Yeah, my hometown had like a specialty donut hole that's like indescribable. I would totally miss that.
Same.
So being from New Orleans, something I really miss is the cooking and the people. Like being from New Orleans is one of those things. You love the Cajun and the Creole cooking. So if you don't miss that, something is wrong with you.
Yeah, and the music and the cool places to go out and the sultry weather and parks. That's a great town. great town.
My hometown is Milledgeville, Georgia. It's dead in the center of Georgia. What I love about my hometown is it's small, so we pretty much know everybody. And what I hate about my hometown is it's small, so we pretty much know everybody.
Yes. The double-edged blade of suburbia. Maybe it's not suburbia. Small hometown. Well, these were some great answers. And this is exactly what I was hoping to get out of this one. It's the food and the people and the things, but everybody has something to say about their hometown. Sadly, we got to pick one. Guys, go in the chat and vote. Type vote space and the number of who you thought it was that had the best answer. You miss your hometown because it's like close to other people's hometowns, like Rachel there? Or maybe you miss hanging out in the Walmart, like Parker. Angelicia, she misses the food. Bella, I don't know. She's being assaulted by Vikings. I'm not sure exactly what her problem is.
Miss Solvang 2024. Congratulations, Bella.
I've never been.
What?
I gotta go. Yeah.
Oh
I've never
my
been to
God.
Solvang. I know.
Great. It really is a great little quaint, beautiful. And now they have like wineries right around there where they didn't. I used to go when I was younger also, but now they've got some pretty good wineries there too.
All right. All right. And if I ever left this town, you know what I'd really miss? Taylor ham. You don't get that. You don't get that in Phoenix, Arizona, Trish.
Who's Taylor Ham?
Who is Taylor Ham? She's who I want to be in my Super Bowl. Taylor Ham. No, tea ham, as we call it here. It's a Jersey food.
Oh.
Yeah. The North Jersey food.
Is it like a deli thing? Like Boar's?
Is it a deli? Yeah, it's no, it's more like Spam. In fact, it's a lot like Spam. It's as close to Spam as those Solvang donut holes. More than donut holes. The packaging is different. Well, what do you guys, oh, wait, is there a poll?
There is, yes. So fans, we turn it over to you. What do you miss about your hometown? Is it the friends, the community, the home-cooked meals, or homecoming? Talking about sports.
Oh, yeah.
The homecoming games.
I feel like the community, what somebody was talking about being a double-edged sword. It's like, yeah, it got the least. Anyway. Friends.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I do. I'm still in the era where I'm very close with all my friends from my hometown, which I feel very lucky to be. Yeah, love them. They're great.
All the high school buds.
Exactly. Yeah, we stayed in touch. I think all of us stayed in touch with them, which I'm very impressed about, honestly.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, we will move on to the next question of the week.
Awesome.
This is Monday.
Ooh, what is a food that they make where you live that you just can't get anywhere else?
I shouldn't have told the whole tea ham thing.
I know. We don't have tea spam here in upstate New York, but we do have something called Speedies. And I thought everybody knew what Speedies were, but it's like definitely an upstate New York thing. So it's just marinated chicken breast, or it can be cuts of beef, or some people do it with venison, but it's just like a long marinade. And then you put them on the grill, on the bobby, and they are absolutely delicious. We have Speedy festivals. Everything is centered around Speedies.
So if you have to marinate it for a really long time, why do they call them Speedies?
Ooh.
I thought it was a pretty natural question.
It was. I can't believe I never thought of that.
But so because I don't want to give you a brain teaser that you're going to be stuck on for the rest of the day. Are they like chicken wings, except not chicken wings?
No, so they're not like chicken wings. Also very upstate New York, Buffalo, holla. But Speedy, no, it's like chunks of chicken breast, or chunks of like, I don't know what kind of steak comes in chunks. Or
So it's a kebab, but you soak it in a sauce like chicken wings.
yeah. Yes, but nothing like chicken wings at all.
All right.
But yes.
Because it's like the donut hole thing all over. But yeah, but no, that's a great example of that. I've never heard of it because they only have it in, is this from Phoenix or upstate? It's upstate.
Upstate, yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, you know what? We should do like a tour. We'll go. We're not all that far apart, the three of us. We could go around and we just got to pick one amazing food. So obviously, JJ, I got dibs on the teal ham, egg, and cheese. So you got to pick something else.
I'll think about it. Well, thank you, Trish. I'm excited to try Speedies, but I think we have other foods from other hometowns from basically across the world. So, fans, we ask you, what is the food they make where you live that you cannot get anywhere else?
So a food they make where I live that you can't get anywhere else is, personally, I don't have anything special around me, but my mom's cooking. She cooks the best like Filipino food ever. Ask my cousins, ask anyone else. I personally always thought that I was biased because like she's my mom and like her food is automatically better to me than anyone else's. But genuinely, her Filipino food is the best food I've ever had in my entire life, and you just can't get it anywhere else. So.
I am and I like to eat and I like to sample cuisines, but I am unfamiliar with Filipino food.
Same. I've never had it.
Me neither.
Hey, if somebody in the chat can give us an example of something spectacular, yeah, if you were eating Filipino food, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
So I'm from Chicago, and I live in the Chicagoland area. So there's this place called Home of the Hoagie on 111th, and it is so good. They have hoagies, they have sweet steaks. That's one of my favorites. Their fries are to die for. You will not find anything on the menu at Home of the Hoagie anywhere else. You just cannot. It's a Chicago classic. Check it out.
What's a sweet steak? Or did she say cheesesteak?
That's where you buy a lottery ticket, and then if you're fortunate, then it comes in and you can win something. Oh, you didn't say sweepstakes? Forgive me. Sorry, everybody.
Oh my God.
Here in Chicago, they make hot dogs, which you can get with everything, which means without ketchup. Or if you ask, you can get them with ketchup and with a heavy side helping of scorn.
So respect for Chicago, because it's sausage-like, so it's gonna be great in Chicago. My problem with Chicago is that people from Chicago think that every possible dish is made much better in Chicago than anywhere else. It's like, oh, the pizza, oh my God, pizza's so much better in Chicago than anywhere else. Or, they ripped off the hoagie and I don't know what they call it. Oh, it's so much better here. I got somebody was the other day, my friend Dave, and Dave was like, oh, the oatmeal's so much better in Chicago.
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal, oh my gosh. You just can't make it anywhere else.
Jesus.
Somebody said once that Chicago style pizza is actually just a casserole. Like, stop calling it pizza. So true.
I hope you're listening, Dave.
I'm in California, and we have In-N-Out, so we're already kind of winning there. I mean, In-N-Out's a very fast and efficient way to get a burger, and it's an amazing food item to eat. You get animal style, highly recommend.
So I just want to say one quick thing, which is that the thing that's awesome about In-N-Out Burger, besides the fact that they're very funny bumper stickers, but it's a perfect expression of Southern California life. It makes perfect sense that that's where it comes from, because it's like you just zoom in there and you grab a quick bite and away you go. And, it's packaged real nice so you can eat it with one hand while you're driving. It's like that's their lifestyle, and they just invented a food that really, really works for them. And it's pretty good.
Great.
It's great.
I love In-N-Out. Animal style. That's my jam. At In-N-Out.
A food that they make where I live that you can't. Okay, first off, let's start over. It's not even a food that we make. It's a food in Southern California that you can't get anywhere else. It's a cut of beef called tri-tip. I think they call it Santa Fe, maybe. They have another name for it. Can't think what they call it. But tri-tip. It's a cut of beef in Southern California. It's so good. You could smoke it. You slice it nice and thin. Make it put on your sandwich. Really good. And you can't get anywhere else. That's why Southern California is the best.
Yeah, they're as bad as the guys from Chicago. You know that? It's so funny. It's like, oh, yes, it's so uniquely California. You know what they call it? They call it the Santa Fe, which is in New Mexico.
It's so funny because I was thinking before, like, we actually do have In-N-Out on the East Coast. We just call it Shake Shack.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's a little different. I got to give respect to In-N-Out, but generally speaking, nothing was ever invented in California. And why would you? The weather's so nice. Just go down to the beach and chill out, man. Nothing was invented. And even the thing that they're so famous for, which is the film industry, you know where that was invented? New Jersey.
Is that right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay. I'm trying to make this like as big as possible. Food that they make where I live. Okay, I live in Atlanta, Georgia. We're really big on barbecue. Barbecue and Southern food. Southern food consists of like collard greens, black eyed peas, especially macaroni and cheese. Because everybody can make macaroni and cheese, but everybody can't make it the Southern way. So I would say Southern food and then barbecue.
I'm salivating.
Yeah.
100%. You know, and we, you know, there's some pretty good barbecue places up here, but it's like what I was criticizing Brian for. It's like, oh, you can go in and you can get, you want St. Louis style ribs, or you want to get some, you know, Cajun style, you know, from New Orleans. But yeah, no, we're just ripping off. You know, I think Angel, like, she's living in the atomic genesis, the germ of the whole thing, the soul of barbecue. God, I love it.
Wow.
Makes me want to have a speedy. You guys, it's time to vote. There were so many good answers here about great hometown food. I am so hungry right now. But we got to vote for one of these guys. You know, type vote space and the number of whoever it is that you loved, and our little bot will pick up those answers, tabulate them, and send it back with a winner. Is it going to be Filipino food, maybe? Maybe something from Chicago? Maybe like your In-N-Out, the tri-tip. Yeah. Oh my God, it sounded so good.
I want to ask her, and maybe fans, maybe you know, if you do, throw me a note there in the chat. What is Southern style mac and cheese? What makes that different than like your basic?
See, you're trying to sound nice about it, but really, you're dubious.
I'm dubious because I make a great mac and cheese.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just wondering.
Yeah, because when I think about Southern food, I'm thinking more grits than macaroni, but you know it's going to be so good. First off, it's going to be made with, I mean, let's just imagine, if you will. It's going to be pretty good mac and cheese, you know, it'll be all right. The mac itself, cheese isn't going to be anything great. It's going to have like a quart of butter per cup, you know, it's going to be like that. And it's going to be like
heavy cream.
Oh yeah, heavy cream and like some really good spices and, you know, like some fresh out of the garden, you know, veggies in there. Pick them up. Oh my God, it's so good.
We need to move on to the poll, because if we talk about this for much longer, we will have to end the show early so I can go get lunch. So we're asking you about what you think. What is the food that you can only find in your hometown? Is it Mexicali cuisine, Chicago style pizza, New York style cheesecake, or gumbo from New Orleans? I haven't had gumbo.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, it's so good. Mexicali.
That's like what chili wants to be.
So
I, you know, after having been so critical, Mexicali is actually pretty darn good. You know, I mean, it's like, I used to spend time down in Baja back when I was, you know, a kid, which is the part of Mexico that's right below California. And it was like very simple, very fresh, you know, quickly cooked, like really, really great, simple food, featuring a lot of fish. Loved it. Love. If I could only eat Mexicali food or only eat like Southern barbecue for the rest of my life, I don't know what I would do.
Oh,
I'd ask the fans.
Yeah, that's a great poll right there.
Yeah, and actually, we'll talk about it at the end of the show, but that keep that little bit there in mind. In the meantime, I think we can move on to the next question.
And next, we wanted to know if you could witness any moment in history, what would it be?
I have actually thought about this question a little bit because recently me and my dad have been talking about football. So, of course, I would want to see like the buzzer beaters in basketball. But I've been looking up these like very wild football plays, and there's one called The Play, where it was a game between Stanford and UCal. UCal was winning. There was a couple seconds left in the game. Stanford gets the ball and runs down to the other end zone to like score a touchdown. The thing is, UCal's band and fans in the stadium had already started running down onto the field to celebrate the win. And so you have this football player like running through the fans, through the band to score this touchdown. He does it. And so literally in like the last second or two, Stanford wins.
Wow.
I actually watched that live.
Really?
On TV, mind you. My brothers both went because I've got a brother who went to Stanford and a brother who went to Cal, and it was a tradition for many years. And but yeah, and of course, it's like, oh, you guys cheated. But it's not just if you talk to anybody who went to Cal and you go, yeah, what about the play? They're like, yes, the play during the game, and whoever wins the game gets the axe. There's like a trophy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was from a college sports perspective, I would nominate that for the best single play ever. I'm not even a big sports fan. I definitely wouldn't choose like some sports event to be my moment in history. If I could only do like go take one trip in a time machine, no.
Wow.
I want to go watch the aliens build the pyramids. That's what I
Of course.
I'm like, oh no, Atlantis. I would want to go and like find out like some important historical fact, like something that we all talk about. Let's shoot crucifixion, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot.
Like, yeah, but I want to go 3 days later.
Oh, good point.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I think we got some answers from fans for this question. So, fans, we ask you, we have our opinions. I think I would watch all of ours. We want to know, what event from history would you want front row seats to?
Honestly, that's a tough question since there are just so many interesting times throughout history, but I haven't been able to narrow it down to my top three. So my number one would definitely have to be during the time of Sir William Wallace, since that's an extremely interesting era. Plus, Braveheart was one of my favorite movies. And I'd also have to say the second one would probably be Ancient Rome, because I just heard that time was lit. And number three would probably be during Shakespearean England, since I just love to know how he wrote those plays.
Or who wrote them. Good point. I think it's so funny that when he talks about ancient Rome, he kind of goes into an English accent, because when you're watching TV and they want to like show you people from ancient Rome, they don't talk in Italian accents. They talk in British accents for some reason. But yeah, no, I would do that too.
Same.
If I could be a fly on if I could be a fly on a wall in any moment of history, I would definitely be on the wall of the backboard of Michael Jordan's Game 6 game-winning shot against the Utah Jazz in 1998.
Yeah, he's like you, JJ.
Yeah.
Sports.
Yeah, being in the stadium where it happened instead of the room where it happened.
If I could be a fly on the wall in any historical moment, I would be at the opening night of the original production of Les Mis in London. That would be where I wanted to be. I think that would make me die happy. I mean the talent and the theatrics and just like the history of that. I think that would be really, really awesome.
I would love to see the original cast. Have you ever seen the recording where they bring all the casts back and they do a single? It's on PBS from time to time. You got to buy a tote bag. If you watch it, they guilt you into that. But it's so worthwhile. But they bring back like 5 different casts from Les Mis, and they share the songs, and it's really amazing. But yeah, I would love to see the original cast for that.
Answer.
Given the opportunity to be a fly on the wall during any moment in history, I would choose the moment that LGBTQ marriage became legal in the United States federally.
We were. That's the good news.
Yeah.
And I feel triumphant, but
like the sports answer, are you watching it? Are you there because you're watching it on TV, or you want to be there in person?
You mean you want to see like Nancy Pelosi put her name on the dock?
I think that's what Megan is saying.
All right.
Yeah.
If I could be a fly on the wall in a moment in history, I would be in the room where it happens with Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison when they make life-changing decisions for America.
Talk about putting your name on a document. That would be awesome. Because, we have questions, right? Like what was the founder's intent on such and such a clause? You just go ask them, just say, hey, TJ, really, what were you thinking about that? Well, compromise what? So I'm totally with Denny on that one. That would be a good one.
Does every American need a gun? Do we?
John Hancock, why did you sign the document? It's John Hancock that signed the Declaration of Independence. Is it the Constitution? We're going to go on to the next answer. I'm going to embarrass myself.
I would be a fly on the wall during the Rubber Soul recording sessions with the Beatles. It's my favorite Beatles album, and I do believe that the Beatles are the most influential and important musicians in modern music, period.
Wow.
Wow.
And if I was to think about like bands, and there are bands that I like better than the Beatles, that mean more to me, but I gotta say that being in a recording session with them, and particularly that album, I think I might choose maybe White Album, but it would be momentous. I would love to be there. It's very interesting how people choose these things, but you know what? Enough John, right? It's time to vote. We got to vote, guys. We got to pick one of these. What historical event would you love to be a witness at? Go ahead and vote in the chat. Is it going to be a historical event, like something that you really wanted to see and just sort of witness? Or is it like you've got questions about something that you would love to be there to ask? Or is it just to be there and appreciate by being like first person, like observer of something like a first sight of a Broadway play or a musical or a band playing or something like that we can only get now as a recording? Yeah.
LGBTQ.
No. Denny was the one. Denny wants to go and watch the founders sign the Constitution.
Oh.
She said she wants to be, not just like in the room where it happens, like watching the play, though I do have to tell you the guys that I went to opening night of Hamilton, but that's besides the point. It was by accident. It's a funny story.
My history nerds all mixed up here. Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, but that would be, whew.
Yeah, that would be huge. Well, we turn it over to you fans. We have our winner for today, but we want to ask you, what historical moment would you want to bear witness to? Are you thinking the creation of a famous work of art, a political event or decision like the signing of the Constitution, a massive concert, or a sports championship?
I can't believe nobody said Woodstock. I thought that people would say Woodstock.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. They thought of it.
Sports.
Ooh, that went fast. I missed that one.
It was a sporting event. Is what won the poll. So we've got some sporting fans.
Of all the sporting events that got talked about, though, JJ, I liked yours because it wasn't just like, because Michael Jordan, he slammed the ball through the basket a gazillion times, and one, in many ways, is a lot like another, right? It's just people want to go see the millionth one. Maybe that would be all right, But going to see something like the play, which was so unusual, it's like it's beyond belief. I'm with you. I would have gone to that one.
Same.
Well, the fans like sports. If you guys want to type something in the chat for us to talk about, a great moment in sports history that you thought of, let us know.
Yes. But in the meantime, I think we can go on to the next question.
Ooh, if you could go on a road trip with any person, living or dead, who would it be?
I'm going with you two guys. How much fun would we have?
Well, we just said that we're going to do our food road trip, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to be very speedy because there's a lot of distance there. But on back to this question, it's like either you want to go with somebody who's really good at road trips, right? Jerry Garcia, he lived on the road, right? You know?
Yeah.
Or Johnny Cash or like one of those guys. Or do you want to go with somebody who never went anywhere because they were just so busy? And then to like, hey, Einstein, Albert Einstein, look, I know that you're sitting here like studying things and inventing things and like, you know, figuring out the universe. But you know what? There's this little town in Texas that I think that you would really dig. It's got good food, great music. Come on, let's go. You know, and that would be really cool too. So yeah, I'm going to go with a mix. I want to go with Albert Einstein and then somebody who's really good at this, how about John Belushi? John Belushi and Albert Einstein in my car. We'll get like one of the old cars so we can all, with a bench front seat, so we can all be in the front seat, you know? And we would have so much fun. We would make so many delightful observations as we cross this great country of ours. And Einstein would love it because, you know, he was from Germany. He went from Germany to New Jersey. Yeah, maybe he went to like New York every once in a while, but yeah, they said, hey, Albert, could you come out to New Mexico and help us like develop the hydrogen bomb? It's like, too far.
So you're picking Einstein though, not because he'd be fun or interesting, but because you would give him.
Yeah, he's probably not very interesting at all. He'd probably like have nothing smart to say. Right? Because not only is he like super intelligent and very wise, he said a lot of things that were not about science, but just about the human condition. But more than that, we would be taking him into a place where he would be seeing things he had never seen before. Imagine the wonderment. That's what I was going to say.
You're giving back. I like that.
But Belushi, he would do something like that you couldn't predict. He would make something happen.
True. That's a good trio. I can see it now. Driving around the country.
Maybe we'll do a Super Bowl halftime show too.
Albert Einstein and John Belushi in the Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah. Well, I think that is a very good answer. But fans, we have some incredible answers from you. So we ask you, who is on your dream road trip?
If I am to go on a road trip with anyone, that person is definitely going to be my dad. You know why? Because he will be running commentary and telling you stories about every landmark, every sport, every box stop, everything. The man knows quite a lot of places, and it's always fun traveling with him.
Love that.
Hope my kids say the same thing.
They won't. I'm telling you, that's why I don't travel with my dad. It's exactly why he's last on my list.
Hey, you can't win them all.
If I could go on a road trip with any person, living or dead, who would it be? Probably Muhammad Ali. And let me go ahead and tell you why. I remember being on YouTube the other day and seeing a video in which a couple met Ali in the Great Wall of China, and I started thinking, how would it be to travel around the world with Ali? I mean, this is just a road trip, but traveling with someone like Muhammad Ali, no one will pick a fight.
Yeah, but he'd be like one of those guys. He'd be like going with Einstein.
Yeah, I think he'd be deep.
Yeah.
Good combination. Deep conversation and guaranteed security.
If I had to go on a road trip with any person living or dead, I'm going to go with LeBron James. LeBron James. LeBron James.
Do you get it? It's a Vine reference.
Yeah.
No, just went over your head. I get it. Don't worry, Brendan. Your joke,
All right.
your joke landed with me.
That's why we keep you around here, JJ.
The young
Plugged
crowd.
in.
Dab.
For this one, I'd probably pick Kevin Hart, I would say. Road trips get super boring, so we're going to need some good vibes, some good times. And he's always got something funny or something stupid to say, so I'd take him.
Great answer. The funny one.
Okay. With any, okay. I was gonna be like, well, I am going on a road trip later this year, and that's with my roommate. Love them. But with any person living or dead, honestly, I feel like I'd love to go on a road trip with. Well, see, I keep thinking of all like the background information, like, oh, well, what about what they want to their families and stuff? But no, we're being selfish with this question. I would want to go on a road trip with Halsey because I absolutely adore them. I've seen them in concert once, and I don't know. I feel like it'd be fun to like get to know her perspective on various places that she's been through in the country, and maybe like little stories here and there, and just get to know her more in general because like infatuated. I just think it'd be a really good time.
Yeah. I feel like that's how it is with a lot of the musicians, though, where it's like you have someone who's toured around the US, like Ariana Grande or like Ed Sheeran, The Weeknd. They guarantee they have like some good fan stories or just like funny encounters because they've done so much traveling.
Steely Dan never went on tour.
Never?
Yeah, they were a studio band. Never. I mean, now they're on for I don't think it's the same them, but they're touring now. But I mean, for the entire pinnacle of their career, they didn't tour. And so, how much fun would that be?
Right.
They probably never went anywhere.
If I'm going on a road trip with someone, I would most definitely go with a person who is worth it, a person who is fun and full of excitements in life, and a person who's ready to go or just go with the flow with everything. So I'm choosing my girlfriend to go with me to a road trip anywhere in the world.
Oh, I thought he was going to keep that totally general, and then he surprised us at the end. He has the perfect person in mind. You're a good boyfriend.
That was cute.
That was cute.
Well, we have heard so many answers here, but we're going to have to vote. Somebody has to go to the finals. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Veronica, Enrique, Brendan, Patrick, Oriana, or Emmanuel? It's up to you, audience. It's up to you, internet. You've got to vote. Do you want to know a trick? Instead of typing vote space in a number, you can just type the space in number. Save yourself 3 letters, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it.
Huge.
That's why you got to watch live. Now you know. You get all the tips.
Yes.
Oh, who we got? Who we got?
Oh, way to go, Kitty Amore.
Anna is going to take Halsey on a road trip.
So, you know, Oriana went back and forth between I'm going to take them and I'm going to take her. So I guess it's one of those where there's a band and there's a person, right? And how many people like are in the band? Like, do you need to bring an RV or a bus? Or is it like, you know, there's Halsey and then like, you know, one other person in the back seat? Because that makes a difference. I don't want to take anything that's too big on my
Listen,
road
she's
trip.
got trouble making decisions as it is. I get the feeling. So let's not muddy the water here.
Just take everybody. Just take them all.
Yes, all of humanity in a like half mile square mile car.
Well, yeah. And it also helps when you're splitting the gas.
Mm-hmm.
I've got more people in there. Yeah.
Good point. Well, Oriana, congratulations. I think now we have a poll. So we ask you, who's your dream road trip companion? Is it a close friend or family member, a modern celebrity, a historical figure, or, and I didn't hear any of these, a fictional character? You can type vote in chat now.
Like take that mystery van and the Scooby-Doo bunch.
Oh,
how fabulous would that be? Oh, yeah. Well, you know what?
Family.
It's the right choice. It really is the right choice.
As long as it's not my dad.
Like Shaggy. Yeah. I'm sure your dad is a pleasure. Your dad probably will insist on driving the whole way, right?
Well, he can't drive anymore, but he thinks he can. So that's a whole other argument before we even get near the car. But yeah, it's rough. Stick with the friend. If in doubt, go with your friend or Halsey.
One of the two. Well, congratulations, Oriana. We will see you in the final round. But I think now we can move on to the next and yes, the final question for the week. Let's do it.
Okay. We wanted you to show us your lucky charm or something that you do for good luck.
Yes. So this is actually today's question. I'm trying to keep it very like sports related because I feel like in daily life there isn't a strong one. But actually, I would say in daily life it's like sometimes I'll just have like a random object that I can like fidget with or fiddle with while I'm busy at an event. But if I'm playing like a sports thing, it's stretching and also like just keeping the stakes low. Like it's just a game. That mentality I think sort of helps me to focus and overall just do better.
But you don't have like a lucky like wristband that you wear. Like, oh yeah, I got to take this. These are these sneakers. I got to make them last because they're so lucky.
It's less that they're lucky and more that I have one pair of sneakers and 3 pairs of like exercise clothes. So it's less that it's lucky, more just like this is what I have. But I do play well with the sneakers that I have now. So I feel like I'll keep them for a while.
But in terms of like luck, like a totem type thing, I'll tell you what I like is I mean, and I'm gonna preface this by saying they will have been laundered before I use them. But I like taking my dog's bandanas because he's a super athlete. You know, he runs, he jumps, he bites, he fights, he does it all. And then he's just like so like he exudes love. And I need both of those things, high performance and to be cherished when I'm playing sports. And so, yeah, so I take Sonny's orange bandanas because that's the only one he wears. And I'll take that, you know, now that I'm, you know, a very mediocre competitive pickleball player, I like to take those bandanas and wear them out. I used to wear green, but now I had to give that up because Sonny only wears orange. People probably have other things. But somebody probably is carrying around like they got the lucky paddle or they got the lucky rabbit's foot.
I carry a little turtle. I guess it's a little glass turtle. I've had a million of them because I always forget about them and break them. But so they're not that lucky, but they bring me luck. Because one time I was in Las Vegas and I was gambling with my sister and I was playing this little machine and you had to get all these turtles. And I won $22,000.
Shut up. So you know what you should do is put that turtle in your pocket and march yourself down to the 7-Eleven and get a lottery ticket. Big drawing this week.
Oh, yeah, I really should. I always forget about the lottery. But yeah, so think turtles if you're playing the lottery, guys.
Wow.
Smart. Well, we have some other answers coming in, or not coming in, but we have a lot of other answers from fans for this question. So let's see if they have any other lucky charms to contribute.
Some people call it a lot of simple tricks and nonsense. They call it luck. Going against remotes is one thing, but going against the living, that's something else. In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
Talking to the guy who's got 2 dice hanging from the dashboard of his spaceship. Well, we're talking about Han Solo here, guys, in case anybody missed that Star Wars reference.
I was going to say, this sounds like a quote. And then I was like, this sounds like a quote from Star Wars. We can't escape it.
Can't sneak that past me.
One of the difficult parts of being a skeptical, materialist, objectivist, etc., is that we don't necessarily believe in luck as it is per se. So I guess the best way to actually see or get good luck is just to expect it or to look for it or just to notice it when it happens. Whenever the luck of the draw gives you what you think is good, say, oh, that was good luck, I have it. And then just seek that in the future.
That's no fun at all. Zero fun.
He said
the premise of the secret, right? The universe will give back what you put out there. So if you put out,
I don't think that's what he was saying, but yeah, the karma that you're describing is you know, a lot of people follow that, right? No, I think he's just saying that it's completely random And if you notice when you're fortunate, even though it's totally random, you can call that luck.
Okay.
It's a very cynical, materialistic, skepticalistic. I gotta have another cup of coffee. But it's no fun at all. And I think that is where we might leave that.
Yes.
Since it's Christmas time, I'll share my Christmas good luck charm, and that is that every year we put an angel on top of the tree. The angel watches out over the tree, over our house, make sure everybody has a very Merry Christmas.
Isn't that the elf on the shelf's job?
Also, you can't have too many people providing overwatch of your house, especially these days.
True.
Let's see, a lucky charm or something I do for good luck. I don't really have a lucky charm too much, but I guess for good luck, I always try to stay positive. So if I see a bunch of crazy things happening around me, I will try to say a little prayer and try to stay positive, try to keep it cool. I also try to be relaxed. So if I see a lot of chaos around me, try to be relaxed, take a breather. So I don't know if that's something for good luck, but it's just something I do a lot.
But why? Is it because you think that by taking those attitudes that you'll have better outcomes? Because the universe will reward you for being chill? Then it's luck. If you're just being chill because you don't like being anxious, then I wouldn't actually call it a good luck charm.
Yeah,
Somebody out here's got to have a straight. You know what? I can't even read his name anymore because it's now so teeny tiny on my screen. But the last guy with hat, that was a good luck charm.
His hat?
Well, no, but he was talking about, he has the angel that guarantees everybody a good Christmas. I mean.
Yeah. I agree with you.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Sorry, Manila.
So I don't have a specific good luck charm, and I don't have a ritual around good luck necessarily. But what I do, if I'm feeling anxious or a little bit nervous about an outcome, is I just fully let go of my expectations of the outcome. I just stop thinking about what could happen or what I want to happen. I let it go, and I just trust that whatever is for me will make its way to me. And that's about it.
So it's a lot of good luck mentalities today.
Yeah.
Less items and rituals, and more just I'm putting myself into the state to receive good luck.
Yeah. It'd be nice if you could just go out and buy something though, right?
Yes.
Like a glass turtle.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Something that I do for good luck is I verbalize everything on my checklist before I go out somewhere. So I make sure that I say everything that I put into my bag, and I basically just do a verbal rundown of what I'm going to be doing, who I'm meeting, what I'm leaving the house for, and when I need to come back. So it just puts my mind at ease so that when I'm telling myself what I need to do, I'm not running around freaking out about what I have to do.
Yeah.
Smart.
I like it.
Yeah.
I always wonder what people are really thinking. We need to add a follow-up question mode to this,
Yes.
Because is it that she's trying to make sure that she has a plan because that eases her mind, or is it that by saying something, you will go to the supermarket and you will buy bananas, that she's more likely to be to be successful in that because the things that she says will manifest themselves in the world. Because that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I like the magic, I gotta say. That, look, and everybody's got their own entitled to their own opinion, and man, that's why we put it out to the interweb to vote, the interweb. But for me, I want something that's going to be just I want something otherworldly.
Tangible.
No?
Right.
Well, yeah. I like both those things.
Okay.
I want it to be otherworldly, and I also want it to be a thing that I can.
So what's your point?
I think the point is that
I like her answer. That's what I guess I'm saying. I like her answer. Well, don't listen to me, folks. You get to say your own piece. Which is the kind of object that you think is worthwhile? Maybe you're a materialist skepticalist. like Alicia, and it's like just doesn't matter. Or maybe you're like Elijah, who's just go out there and say Star Wars quotes. You never know what's going to happen. Brandon, he's got a totem there. It's a good one too. Or is it about attitude? Neva, she's got a good attitude. Emma's got a good weight. What did you guys choose?
Neva.
Yeah, she has an approach that perhaps obviates the need for a lucky charm.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Well, congratulations. Oh, yes. Well, congratulations, Neva. We will see you in the final round. But for now, we turn it to you, viewers. Show us your lucky charm or something you do for good luck. Is it a lucky outfit, a lucky object like a glass turtle, a lucky routine, or you're like Alicia, who is a fan of the objectivist, materialist, cynicalist mentality.
Yeah. Yeah, people have objects.
Yes. The turtle.
A lucky pen, that you take for doing tests.
Oh, you know what? I do know people that have lucky pens. That's interesting that you say that.
Yeah. I got married in a pair of cowboy boots, and I got to say, they're still upstairs. And they're so beat up. But I'm afraid that if I ever lose those boots, man, I'll lose my solid relationship. And it's not because she just liked the boots. It's just, they're just lucky for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's not manifest that last bit, but like the boots. This is actually, so we've gone through all the questions for the week, which means that there's one thing left to do.
Now it is time for the winners round. This is where we're going to select the very best answer of the week and crown your QOTD weekly champion.
Yes, that's right. So all week long, you guys voted on your favorite answers and sent stars to all the things that your pals here at QOTD were recording. And then we took the ones that were the very best, according to you, and put them into the show. And you guys have voted and chosen one great answer. And now we're going to go pick of those great answers, which is the greatest of the greatest, which is the Muhammad Ali of QOTD answers. Let's find out right now.
How do you get inspired to work out? Well, I kind of don't. I feel like actually working out is just not something I'm really into. I do it sometimes, but it's not my favorite. My favorite type of kind of being out and about is just being active. So doing active activities with friends, like me and my friends, we're going to go rock climbing. We went roller skating the other day and just walking as much as possible. So I try to take stairs instead of elevators and just being active that way.
All right, thanks, Milo, for that good advice. How do you get inspired to work out?
If I could be a fly on the wall in a moment in history, I would be in the room where it happens with Alexander Hamilton, Thomas Jefferson, and James Madison when they make life-changing decisions for America.
And don't forget John Hancock. Denny's answering the question. If you could go back in time and witness any historical event of any sort, what would it be? She's like going to be back there with the founding fathers for the signing of the Declaration of Independence, maybe the Constitution, maybe the Articles of Confederation too.
So I don't have a specific good luck charm, and I don't have like a ritual around good luck necessarily. But what I do, if I'm feeling anxious or a little bit nervous about an outcome, is I just like fully let go of my expectations of the outcome. Like I just stop thinking about what could happen or what I want to happen. I let it go. And I just trust that whatever is for me will make its way to me. And that's about it.
Yeah, Neva's answering the question, do you have a lucky charm? And she says, no, I am a lucky charm.
Oh, I would absolutely love for two people that you would never even imagine together. Like, imagine Lil Wayne and Reba. That's my answer.
I'm imagining it. Who would be the ideal Super Bowl halftime show pairing? Like, something crazy. She hit the nail right on the head.
Well, I'm from Solvang, California, which is a Danish town on the Central Coast. Bakeries everywhere, windmills everywhere, huge tourist attraction. And I really miss my friends and family, but I think the thing that I miss most of all is when actual Danish people would come to town and they'd be really mad. And they'd go, "This is not what Copenhagen looks like." And we'd have to apologize, for getting it wrong.
She's answering the question. What's something about your hometown that you really miss? She's from Solvang. She doesn't miss those famous donut holes. What she's missing is when people from Copenhagen, some call it Copenhagen, come by and make fun of them for not being Danish enough. Really, what they should have is not donut holes, but Danishes.
Okay. I was gonna be like, well, I am going on a road trip later this year, and that's with my roommate. Love them. But with any person living or dead, honestly, I feel like I'd love to go on a road trip with. Well, see, I keep thinking of all like the background information, like, oh, well, what about what they want and their families and stuff? But no, we're being selfish with this question. I would want to go on a road trip with Halsey because I absolutely adore them. I've seen them in concert once, and I don't know. I feel like it'd be fun to like get to know her perspective on various places that she's been through in the country, and maybe like little stories here and there, and just get to know her more in general because like infatuated. I just think it'd be a really good time.
Was there what was the I don't even remember what the question was anymore. So who would you go with if you could go on a road trip with anybody? Who would you choose? Ariana, after some hemming and hawing, she says, "Yeah, I'm going to go with Halsey." All right, guys, it's time to vote. Vote for any of these in the chat. Just type vote space and the number of the person that you think is the most awesome or who has the best answer. Yeah, Brian was answering, how do you get inspired and or motivated to work out? Yeah, he just said, you just got to remember why you're here, man. He's another skepticalist, rationalist, individualist.
Well, Alyssa T is our weekly champion. Congratulations. She answered the question about the perfect Super Bowl matchup, halftime show, that is.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Yeah, that was good. Because this is not her first QOTD answer. We have seen her before, certainly in the All Day Show, and she's come up with, she's like she's a little offbeat, right? And she has some crazy answers. This was so spot on and so insightful. She's like the Einstein of halftime shows. Somebody sign her up, right? So that was great. This was an amazing week. Thank you to everybody who watched, voted, and recorded and made it possible for us to have this. I learned a lot today. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, this is why we do this darn show. So I guess that's the end of the week. This week was about, did we have a theme?
It was sports inspired.
Okay. No, there was definitely some sports in there. Yeah. No, now I see where the hometown stuff came from. Yeah. No, I get it. Homecoming. Yes. Yeah. But so it was a great week. They're all really good questions. And obviously, we sort of assemble our favorite questions and then we tie a theme around it. But what do we got coming up? What's our theme for the coming week, which starts like kind of now?
It is my favorite topic of all time, food. I'm so excited. We're talking about malleable meals and cooking conundrums and funny food fails.
That is amazing. Do we have more food questions? Because we had 2 food questions today.
Oh, yeah. We have tons of food questions, cooking questions.
I got answers. That's what I want to do. My next podcast is all about oatmeal. I'm obsessed.
You are
with oatmeal. It's true. So just so that we can, start the juices flowing, as it were, can you share an appetizer with us, Trish? Maybe a hint as to, or even just tell us. Right?
I'll give
What's
you
on the menu?
Well, there is nothing sweeter than a repeater. We want to know what your perfect breakfast, lunch, and dinner trifecta is. Your favorite meal menu that never goes stale.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, look, obviously you guys know what I'm going to have for breakfast, except sometimes I have oatmeal for dinner.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know if I could do that every night. I'm gonna stick with it for breakfast, but lunch and dinner, I mean, I got some thinking to do. Well, hopefully everybody else is like starting to think right now. We would love it if you would answer these questions, and it's just so easy. Go right into the chat, and there's a link right there that will enable you to record. Click that link, record your answer, and then you could be on the air like really, really soon, right? Like minutes. Just go for it, right? And the best thing is that the best answers, not only do they get cheered and applauded and sent stars to throughout the week, you could also show up right here on our Thursday big show next Thursday at 4 o'clock or at 1 o'clock, excuse me, 1 o'clock Eastern time, 4 o'clock California time for all you people out there in Solvang. But every single day we get together and talk about, whatever is the question of the day and share the answers that have just come in. So record away. I want to see you on TV tomorrow night. Come on.
Bye, everyone. See you soon.